Welcome to Europe. Welcome to Europe, a continent where centuries-old villages and small towns still shape everyday life. Here, borders change, empires rise and fall, yet local identities quietly survive. Across mountains, coasts, valleys, and rivers, Europe hides beauty far beyond its famous capitals. Europe is not only defined by its major cities. Its true character often lives in small towns and historic villages. Places where traditions continue, architecture reflects history, and landscapes shape daily routines. This journey explores Europe's most beautiful villages and small towns, where culture and nature meet. Before we begin, here's a question for you. Which region has the highest number of UNESCO-listed historic towns in Europe? Share your answer in the comments. If you enjoy thoughtful and informative journeys like this, please support the channel. Liking and subscribing is completely free, but it helps creators more than you can imagine. And tell us in the comments, which European country should we explore next?
Faroe Islands, Denmark. Rising from the North Atlantic, the Faroe Islands feel raw, remote, and deeply connected to nature. This archipelago lies between Norway and Iceland, shaped by wind, waves, and steep volcanic cliffs. Small villages cling to hillsides and narrow fjords, often surrounded by open sea on three sides. Grass-roofed houses protect against cold winds and reflect centuries of adaptation to harsh weather. The islands have a long history of seafaring and self-reliant communities. For generations, fishing and small-scale farming supported daily life in isolated settlements. Local culture values simplicity, cooperation, and respect for the natural environment. Village life remains closely tied to weather patterns and seasonal rhythms. Food traditions focus on seafood, lamb, and locally preserved ingredients. Meals are practical, shaped by climate rather than luxury or excess. The local economy still relies on fishing alongside growing interest in sustainable tourism. Small towns balance modern infrastructure with traditional ways of living. For visitors, the landscape offers dramatic coastal walks and panoramic viewpoints. Cliffs rise hundreds of meters above the ocean, reaching around 800 meters or 2,625 feet in places. Hiking routes connect villages through valleys, ridges, and quiet coastal paths. Fog, shifting light, and open horizons create constantly changing scenery. With a population of roughly 54,000, the Faroe Islands remain uncrowded and peaceful. Here, nature sets the pace, and human presence feels carefully woven into the land. Canary Islands, Spain. Set in the Atlantic Ocean, the Canary Islands offer a striking contrast between Europe and the tropics. This Spanish archipelago lies off northwest Africa, shaped by volcanic origins and ocean currents. Each island has its own character, from black lava landscapes to golden beaches and pine-covered mountains. Volcanic cones and rugged coastlines define much of the terrain, creating dramatic natural scenery. The islands have a long history as a crossroads for Atlantic travel and trade. Over time, small towns developed around ports, fertile valleys, and sheltered coastal areas. Local culture reflects a blend of European traditions and island life. Music, crafts, and daily routines remain closely connected to community and environment. Canarian cuisine is simple and regional, focused on local produce and seafood. Potatoes, fresh fish, and traditional sauces are common elements of everyday meals. Tourism plays a major role in the modern economy, alongside agriculture and maritime activities. Despite this, many small towns maintain a relaxed pace and strong local identity. The islands are known for outdoor activities shaped by nature. Hiking trails cross volcanic parks, while coastal paths reveal cliffs and quiet beaches. Mount Tide rises at the center of Tenerife, reaching 3,715 meters or 12,188 feet above sea level. It is often cited as Spain's highest peak, offering wide views across the archipelago. With a population of over 2 million across all islands, space still feels open and calm. The Canary Islands balance natural power, island culture, and European influence in a unique way. Zaansche Schans, Netherlands. Zaansche Schans is a preserved historic village located just north of Amsterdam. It sits along the Zaan River, surrounded by flat lowlands and open Dutch countryside. The area is famous for its traditional windmills, wooden houses, and old workshops. These structures reflect daily life in the Netherlands during the 18th and 19th centuries. Historically, the Zaan region was one of Europe's earliest industrial zones. Wind-powered mills processed grain, timber, spices, oils, and pigments for trade. Many original buildings were relocated here to protect regional heritage. Today, the village feels like an open-air setting where history remains visible. Local culture emphasizes craftsmanship, order, and connection to water management. Walking paths follow canals, dikes, and green fields shaped by centuries of engineering. Food traditions highlight regional products and simple preparation methods. Local cheeses and baked goods reflect long-standing Dutch culinary practices. Tourism supports the local economy, alongside small-scale craft demonstrations. Artisans continue traditional methods, showing how tools and materials were once used. The surrounding landscape is defined by reclaimed land below sea level. Dikes and canals regulate water in areas several meters below 0 meters per 0 feet. The village is compact and easy to explore on foot. Paths connect windmills, homes, and riverbanks within short walking distances. With a small resident population, Zaansche Schans remains calm despite visitors. It offers a clear view into how landscape, industry, and daily life once worked together. Plitvice Lakes National Park, Croatia. Plitvice Lakes National Park is one of Europe's most distinctive natural landscapes. It lies in central Croatia between forested mountains and limestone plateaus. The park is known for a chain of terraced lakes connected by waterfalls and streams. Mineral-rich water continuously shapes natural barriers, changing the lakes over time. This area has been protected for generations due to its ecological importance. It became Croatia's first national park in 1949, with conservation as a core priority. Dense forests surround the lakes, dominated by beech, fir, and spruce trees. These woodlands support diverse wildlife and help preserve water clarity. Wooden walkways allow visitors to move safely across lakes and marshes. Paths follow the natural flow of water without disturbing fragile formations. Local culture in nearby villages reflects a deep respect for nature. Traditional lifestyles developed around forestry, small farming, and seasonal rhythms. Food traditions in the region are simple and locally sourced. Meals often rely on freshwater fish, vegetables, and preserved ingredients. Tourism is carefully managed to protect the environment. Visitor numbers are regulated and access follows designated routes only. The park's elevation ranges from about 370 meters to 1,280 meters, or 1,214 feet to 4,199 feet. This variation creates different climates and seasonal scenery. With 16 main lakes, colors shift from emerald to deep blue. Light, minerals, and water depth influence these constant visual changes. Plitvice Lakes offers a rare balance between natural beauty and careful preservation. Here, water, forest, and stone remain the true architects of the landscape. Wild Atlantic Way, Ireland. Stretching along Ireland's western edge, the Wild Atlantic Way is one of Europe's longest coastal routes. It runs for about 2,600 kilometers, or 1,615 miles, following cliffs, beaches, headlands, and remote peninsulas. The route traces the Atlantic Ocean, where land meets powerful waves and changing skies. Rocky shores, sea stacks, and wide bays define much of the coastline. This region has a long human history shaped by isolation and the sea. Small towns and villages developed around fishing, farming, and coastal trade. Traditional lifestyles remain visible in daily routines and local customs. Community life often centers on shared work, storytelling, and outdoor living. Food along the route reflects coastal geography and local produce. Seafood, root vegetables, and simple recipes form the base of regional meals. The local economy combines tourism with long-established industries. Fishing, small farms, and crafts continue alongside visitor services. Natural scenery is the main attraction of the Wild Atlantic Way. Cliffs rise sharply from the ocean, reaching over 200 meters or 656 feet in some areas. Walking trails and scenic roads connect viewpoints and coastal villages. Weather changes quickly, creating dramatic light and shifting colors. Wildlife is often visible along the coast. Seabirds nest on cliffs, while marine life appears offshore at certain times. Despite its length, the route never feels urban or crowded. Distances between towns preserve a sense of space and quiet. The Wild Atlantic Way offers a raw, open view of Europe's Atlantic frontier. Here, landscape and ocean shape both the journey and the way of life. Saturnia Hot Springs, Italy. Saturnia. Hot springs are natural thermal pools set in the rolling countryside of southern Tuscany. They flow through limestone terraces, forming cascading basins filled with pale blue water. The springs are fed by underground geothermal activity linked to ancient volcanic systems. Water emerges at a constant temperature of about 37 degrees Celsius, 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit throughout the year. This site has been known since ancient times for its natural bathing qualities. Over centuries, mineral-rich water shaped smooth rock formations through steady flow. The surrounding landscape is rural and open, with fields, hills, and small farming settlements. Steam rising from the pools creates a soft contrast against the quiet countryside. Local culture reflects a slow-paced lifestyle connected to land and seasonal rhythms. Nearby villages maintain traditional routines centered on agriculture and regional identity. Food in this part of Tuscany is simple and locally sourced. Olive oil, bread, vegetables, and regional specialties define everyday meals. The springs are freely accessible and remain part of public natural space. Visitors move carefully across stone paths, shaped by water deposits over time. Calcium, sulfur, and other minerals give the water its distinctive color and scent. These elements continuously reshape the terraces, making the landscape slowly change. The pools are shallow and wide, allowing water to circulate gently. This creates a calm environment shaped more by nature than design. Saturnia hot springs sit at an elevation of about 294 meters or 965 feet. The open setting offers wide views of the surrounding Tuscan terrain. Here, geology, water, and landscape come together in quiet balance. The springs remain a living example of nature's ability to shape place and experience. Helsinki, Finland. Helsinki rises along the Baltic Sea, shaped by water, islands, and clean urban design. The city spreads across a low coastline with harbors, bays, and green spaces woven into daily life. Founded in the 16th century, Helsinki developed as a maritime and trading center. Its layout reflects layers of history combined with modern planning and open public areas. Architecture here is functional, minimal, and closely connected to nature. Buildings often frame views of the sea, parks, or nearby islands. Local culture values balance, privacy, and thoughtful design. Daily life moves calmly, even in busy districts and transport hubs. Food culture focuses on simplicity and seasonal ingredients. Fish, grains, berries, and fresh produce form the base of local meals. Helsinki is Finland's economic and innovation hub. Technology, education, design, and services shape much of the modern workforce. The lifestyle emphasizes efficiency, sustainability, and outdoor access. Residents regularly use waterfront paths, parks, and nearby forests. The city is surrounded by an archipelago of more than 300 islands. Short ferry rides connect urban areas with quiet natural escapes. Winters are cold and bright, while summers bring long daylight hours. Seasonal change strongly influences daily routines and social life. Helsinki's population is around 660,000, offering a human-scale capital city. It feels spacious, organized, and closely tied to its natural surroundings. Here, modern European living blends smoothly with sea, light, and space. Alberobello, Italy. Alberobello is a small town in southern Italy, set within the Apulia region's gentle countryside. It is known worldwide for its unique stone houses called trulli, built without mortar. These cone-roofed structures were designed using local limestone and simple construction methods. Their shape allowed quick dismantling, once used to avoid historical property taxes. The town's layout feels compact and rhythmic, with narrow streets and repeating rooftops. Whitewashed walls reflect sunlight, creating a bright and calm visual atmosphere. Alberobello's history is closely tied to rural life and land ownership systems. Most trulli date from the 17th to 19th centuries, preserved as part of everyday housing. Local culture remains closely connected to craftsmanship and family traditions. Many residents still live within trulli, maintaining them through inherited knowledge. Food culture reflects southern Italian simplicity and local produce. Meals often feature bread, vegetables, olive oil, and regional seasonal ingredients. Tourism now plays a major role in the local economy. Small shops, guest houses, and craft stores operate within restored trulli buildings. Despite visitors, daily life moves at a relaxed pace. Early mornings and quiet evenings define the town's rhythm. Alberobello sits at about 428 meters or 1,404 feet above sea level. Its inland position keeps the climate warm and dry for much of the year. The town has a population of roughly 10,000 people. This small scale helps preserve its architectural identity and community feel. Alberobello offers a rare example of how tradition, design, and daily life coexist. Here, architecture is not only historic, but still lived in and respected. Pyrenees, Spain and France. The Pyrenees form a vast mountain range stretching between Spain and France. They create a natural boundary, rising sharply from valleys and plains on both sides. Peaks, deep gorges, alpine lakes and high pastures define the landscape. Some summits exceed 3,400 meters, 11,155 feet, shaping weather and ecosystems. Human settlement here dates back thousands of years. Small mountain villages developed around grazing, trade routes, and seasonal movement. Traditional life remains visible in stone houses, terraced fields, and narrow mountain roads. Communities adapted to altitude, climate, and long winters with strong local identity. Culture varies across the range, shaped by geography rather than borders. Languages, crafts, and customs differ from valley to valley. Food reflects mountain conditions and local resources. Cheese, cured meats, breads, and simple hot dishes are common in higher regions. The Pyrenees support mixed local economies. Livestock farming, forestry, and tourism remain central to daily life. For visitors, the mountains offer extensive outdoor experiences. Hiking routes cross national parks, ridges, and glacial valleys. And glacial valleys. In winter, higher areas support snow-based activities. Summer brings clear trails, wildflowers, and open highland views. Rivers originating here flow toward both the Atlantic and Mediterranean seas. These waterways shape valleys and support nearby towns. Population density is low across much of the range. This creates a sense of space, quiet, and distance from urban centers. The Pyrenees reveal a slower, resilient side of Europe. Here, nature sets limits, and human life adapts with care and continuity. Bern, Switzerland. Bern sits along a sweeping bend of the Aar River, surrounded by gentle hills and open countryside. The city's elevated position creates clear views across rooftops, bridges, and distant Alpine horizons. Founded in the 12th century, Bern developed as a planned medieval city. Its historic core preserves original street layouts, arcades, and sandstone buildings. The old town reflects centuries of civic life shaped by trade and governance. Careful preservation allows history to remain part of everyday movement and routine. Local culture values precision, order, and steady pace. Daily life feels structured yet relaxed, shaped by public spaces and walkable streets. Food traditions emphasize simplicity and quality ingredients. Local dishes often feature grains, dairy products, and seasonal produce. Bern serves as Switzerland's political center and an administrative hub. Government institutions influence employment alongside services, education, and tourism. The city encourages a balanced lifestyle focused on accessibility and outdoor time. Riverside paths and green spaces are used year-round by residents. The Aar River plays a central role in urban life. Its clear waters flow through the city, shaping recreation and scenic viewpoints. Bern lies at about 540 meters or 1,772 feet above sea level. This elevation brings cool winters and mild summers. The population is around 135,000, maintaining a human-scale capital environment. Crowds remain manageable, even in central districts. Bern blends history, function, and calm continuity. It shows how a European capital can remain compact, livable, and deeply connected to place. Óbidos, Portugal. Óbidos is a small historic town located in central Portugal, north of Lisbon. It sits on a low hill overlooking fertile plains shaped by agriculture and trade routes. The town is enclosed by well-preserved stone walls that define its compact layout. Narrow cobbled streets wind between whitewashed houses trimmed with blue and yellow lines. Óbidos has origins dating back to Roman times. It later developed during the medieval period as a strategic and residential settlement. For centuries, the town was closely linked to royal history. It was traditionally gifted to Portuguese queens, shaping its long-term preservation. Local culture emphasizes tradition, craftsmanship, and community pride. Daily life follows a calm rhythm influenced by seasons and local events. Food culture reflects regional Portuguese simplicity. Local cooking highlights bread, seafood from nearby coasts, vegetables, and olive oil. The town's economy relies heavily on tourism and small family-run businesses. Bookshops, craft stores, and guest houses operate within historic buildings. Walking through Óbidos feels intimate and unhurried. Distances are short, and most areas are explored entirely on foot. From the town walls, views extend across fields and surrounding countryside. These elevated paths offer a clear sense of place and scale. Óbidos sits at approximately 75 meters or 246 feet above sea level. Its mild climate supports year-round visits without extreme conditions. The permanent population is small, under 3,000 residents. This helps maintain a quiet atmosphere beyond peak visiting hours. Óbidos presents a clear example of preserved medieval town life. Here, architecture, history, and daily living remain closely connected. Athens, Greece. Athens spreads across a broad basin surrounded by low mountains and the Aegean coastline. The city combines dense urban districts with hills, open squares, and long views toward the sea. Human settlement here extends back thousands of years. Athens developed as a center of learning, civic organization, and early urban planning. Streets reveal layers of time, where ancient layouts meet modern avenues. Stone, marble, and concrete exist side by side across different neighborhoods. Local culture values public discussion, social connection, and outdoor life. Cafes, markets, and plazas shape daily routines and shared spaces. Food culture reflects Mediterranean simplicity and regional produce. Meals often include grains, vegetables, olive oil, seafood, and fresh herbs. Athens is Greece's largest economic and administrative center. Tourism, services, shipping-related business, and creative industries support the workforce. The city's lifestyle is energetic yet adaptable. Residents balance long work days with evening social life and outdoor gatherings. Several hills rise within the urban area, offering elevated viewpoints. These natural features help define neighborhoods and visual orientation. Athens lies at about 70 meters or 230 feet above sea level. Its climate is warm and dry for much of the year. The metropolitan population exceeds 3 million people. Despite its size, many districts maintain a strong local identity. Athens connects Europe's past with its present urban rhythm. Here, history remains embedded in everyday movement rather than confined to memory. Stelvio Pass, Italy. Stelvio Pass is one of Europe's highest paved mountain routes, carved into the Central Alps. It connects valleys in northern Italy through a dramatic series of steep ascents and sharp turns. The pass reaches an elevation of about 2,757 meters or 9,045 feet above sea level. At this height, weather changes quickly, shaping travel conditions and seasonal access. Built in the 19th century, the road originally served strategic and trade purposes. Its design followed the natural contours of the mountain rather than cutting through it. The surrounding landscape is defined by rocky slopes, alpine meadows, and glacial views. Snow remains visible on higher ridges well into warmer months. Small mountain settlements nearby developed around pastoral life and seasonal movement. Livestock grazing and mountain farming supported communities for generations. Local culture reflects resilience and adaptation to altitude. Daily routines historically followed weather patterns and limited growing seasons. Food traditions in the region are practical and nourishing. Meals often rely on dairy products, grains, and preserved local ingredients. Today, Stelvio Pass plays a role in tourism and regional mobility. Cyclists, drivers, and hikers are drawn by its elevation and scenery. The road is known for its tight hairpin bends, More than 40 curves climb the eastern side alone, demanding careful navigation. Summer brings clear views across valleys and distant peaks. Winter closes the route, returning the area to silence and snow. Stelvio Pass represents human persistence within extreme terrain. Here, engineering follows nature rather than attempting to control it. Munich, Germany. Munich sits on the Bavarian plain, north of the Alps, where rivers and open landscapes shape the city's form. Its location connects southern Germany with Alpine regions and Central European trade routes. Founded in the 12th century, Munich grew from a river settlement into a regional center. Over time, it developed structured streets, public squares, and long civic traditions. The city balances historic neighborhoods with modern planning and green corridors. Wide avenues, parks, and riverbanks support daily movement and open space. Local culture values organization, craftsmanship, and community life. Public spaces are used year-round, shaped by seasonal routines and social gatherings. Food traditions reflect southern German regional cooking. Bread, dairy products, grains, and locally sourced ingredients remain central to everyday meals. Munich is one of Germany's strongest economic hubs. Industries include technology, engineering, media, research, and advanced manufacturing. The lifestyle emphasizes efficiency alongside leisure. Workdays are structured, while free time often centers on parks, sports, and nearby nature. The city lies close to lakes and foothills of the Alps. Day trips to natural areas are common and easily accessible. Munich stands at about 520 meters or 1,706 feet above sea level. This elevation brings cold winters and mild, comfortable summers. With a population of around 1.5 million, the city feels orderly rather than overwhelming. Neighborhoods maintain distinct identities within the larger urban structure. Munich presents a refined European city shaped by planning, stability, and access to nature. Ronda, Spain. Ronda is a historic town set high above a deep gorge in southern Spain. It stands on a rocky plateau, divided dramatically by the El Tajo Canyon. The Guadalquivir River carved this gorge over thousands of years. Sheer cliffs drop about 100 meters / 328 feet, shaping the town's unique geography. Ronda's location made it a natural stronghold in ancient times. Different civilizations settled here due to its defensive position and fertile surroundings. The town developed with compact streets and tightly built stone houses. Urban life adapted carefully to steep edges and limited flat land. Local culture reflects a strong sense of place and continuity. Daily routines follow a calm pace shaped by landscape rather than speed. Food traditions are rooted in regional Andalusian cooking. Meals often feature local vegetables, grains, olive oil, and simple preparations. Ronda's economy historically relied on agriculture and regional trade. Today, tourism supports many small businesses and local services. The dramatic gorge defines most visitor experiences. Walking routes and viewpoints offer constant changes in perspective and scale. Surrounding countryside consists of rolling hills and open pastureland. These areas support farming and connect the town to nearby villages. Ronda sits at approximately 739 meters or 2,425 feet above sea level. This elevation brings cooler temperatures compared to coastal regions. The population is around 33,000, maintaining a small-town atmosphere. Life remains focused on local neighborhoods and shared public spaces. Ronda presents a rare blend of natural force and human settlement. Here, the landscape is not a backdrop, but the town's defining structure. Targim, Russia. Targim is a historic mountain settlement located in the Caucasus Highlands of southern Russia. It lies within the rugged terrain of Ingushetia, surrounded by steep slopes and narrow valleys. The village is known for its medieval stone tower complexes. These towers were built for defense, storage, and community organization over centuries. Targim developed along mountain routes used for seasonal movement and local trade. Its elevated position provided protection and wide visibility across the surrounding landscape. stone structures were constructed using local materials and dry stone techniques. This method allowed buildings to withstand harsh weather and seismic conditions. Local culture reflects strong ties to ancestry, land, and collective responsibility. Family groups historically lived close together, sharing resources and protection. Daily life adapted to mountain conditions and limited arable land. Pastoral activities and small-scale farming supported long-term settlement. Food traditions were shaped by altitude and climate. Meals relied on grains, dairy products, preserved foods, and locally sourced ingredients. The surrounding environment is dramatic and quiet. Rocky ridges, alpine meadows, and winding paths define movement through the area. Tourism remains limited, helping preserve the site's original character. Visitors experience the settlement mainly through walking routes and observation. Tagum sits at an elevation of approximately 1,200 meters or 3,937 feet. This height brings cool summers and long, cold winters. The population today is very small, with many structures uninhabited. This creates a strong sense of stillness and historical presence. Tagum offers a rare glimpse into mountain life shaped by survival and cooperation. Here, architecture and landscape remain closely bound by necessity and tradition. France. Aix is a small hilltop village set high above the Mediterranean coast in southern France. It rises on a rocky peak, offering wide views across the sea and surrounding coastline. The village developed along a steep ridge between Nice and Monaco. Its elevated position once provided protection and clear visibility across land and water. Aix's layout follows the natural shape of the rock. Narrow stone pathways climb upward, winding between tightly built houses. Most structures date back to the medieval period. Thick walls and compact forms helped residents adapt to limited space and strong winds. Local culture reflects a slow and deliberate pace of life. Small communities value privacy, craftsmanship, and connection to place. Art studios and workshops operate within restored stone buildings. Creative work has become part of daily village life. Food traditions reflect the surrounding Provence region. Local cooking emphasizes vegetables, herbs, olive oil, and simple preparation methods. The village economy relies mainly on tourism and small family-run businesses. Shops, cafes, and guest houses operate within the historic core. Gardens near the summit showcase Mediterranean plants adapted to dry conditions. Terraced paths offer quiet spaces above the village rooftops. Aes sits at approximately 429 meters or 1,407 feet above sea level. This elevation creates cooler air compared to the coast below. The permanent population is very small. Most movement through the village is on foot due to steep terrain. Aes feels suspended between sea and sky. Here, landscape, architecture, and silence shape a distinct sense of balance and scale. Trapani Harbour, Italy. Trapani Harbour lies on the western tip of Sicily, where the Tyrrhenian and Mediterranean seas meet. The harbour curves gently around the old town, shaped by wind, salt, and long maritime use. This location made Trapani an important port since ancient times. Phoenician and later Roman routes passed through these waters, linking trade across the Mediterranean. The harbour area developed alongside narrow streets and stone buildings. Urban life grew directly from the shoreline, with boats, docks, and markets closely connected. Local culture remains strongly tied to the sea. Fishing traditions continue to influence daily routines and seasonal rhythms. Salt flats near the harbour define much of the surrounding landscape. These shallow basins reflect the sky and have been used for salt production for centuries. Food culture in Trapani reflects coastal Sicily. Meals often feature fish, simple sauces, grains, and locally grown ingredients. The harbour supports both fishing and passenger traffic. Small boats operate beside ferries connecting nearby islands. Life along the waterfront moves at a steady pace. Morning activity centers on boats and supplies, while evenings grow calm and open. The surrounding sea remains clear and shallow near the coast. Light changes throughout the day shape the harbour's colours and reflections. Trapani Harbour sits close to sea level at about 5 meters or 16 feet. Its flat setting contrasts with nearby hills and coastal cliffs. The town has a population of around 67,000 people. Despite this, the harbour area retains a strong local character. Trapani Harbour reflects a Mediterranean town shaped by water, trade and continuity. Here, the sea remains central to both history and everyday life. Edinburgh, United Kingdom. Edinburgh is built across a series of hills along Scotland's eastern coast. The city overlooks the North Sea, shaped by volcanic rock and natural ridgelines. Its layout is defined by contrast between the Old Town and the New Town. One follows medieval street patterns, while the other reflects planned Georgian design. Edinburgh's history spans royal rule, trade, and intellectual development. For centuries, it served as a political and cultural centre of Scotland. Stone buildings dominate the urban landscape. Dark rock, narrow lanes, and elevated streets create strong visual character. Local culture values education, literature, and public debate. The city is closely associated with learning, publishing, and creative thought. Food traditions reflect regional Scottish cooking and modern influences. Local produce, grains, vegetables, and seafood form the base of everyday meals. Edinburgh's economy is driven by finance, education, tourism, and public services. Universities and institutions play a major role in employment and city life. The city is highly walkable despite its varied elevation. Streets climb and descend sharply, revealing changing views at every turn. Green spaces are woven throughout the urban area. Large parks and open hills sit within walking distance of the city centre. Edinburgh lies at about 47 metres or 154 feet above sea level near the coast. Higher districts rise significantly above this level. The population is around 550,000, giving the city an active yet manageable scale. Neighbourhoods retain strong local identity and rhythm. Edinburgh blends landscape, history, and daily life into a unified city form. Here, natural terrain shapes how the city is lived, not just how it is seen. Český Krumlov, Czech Republic. Český Krumlov is a compact, historic town set along a winding bend of the Vltava River. It lies in southern Bohemia, surrounded by gentle hills and forested landscapes. The town developed during the medieval period as a regional trade and administrative center. Its layout follows the river's curves, creating narrow streets and enclosed courtyards. Colorful townhouses line the historic core, built closely together over centuries. Stone foundations and painted facades reflect layered architectural periods. Local culture values continuity, craftsmanship, and community-scale living. Daily routines remain centered around walking, local shops, and shared public spaces. Food traditions reflect Central European regional cooking. Meals often include grains, vegetables, dairy products, and locally sourced ingredients. The town's economy today relies largely on tourism and cultural services. Small guest houses, workshops, and family-run businesses support local livelihoods. The river plays a central role in shaping movement and scenery. Bridges connect neighborhoods, offering changing views of rooftops and water. Outdoor activity follows the natural setting. Walking paths trace the riverbanks and nearby hills, staying close to the historic center. Český Krumlov sits at approximately 492 meters, 1,614 feet above sea level. This elevation brings cool winters and mild, pleasant summers. The permanent population is around 13,000 people. Despite visitors, the town maintains a calm rhythm outside peak hours. Český Krumlov preserves the feeling of a lived-in historic town. Here, urban form, river landscape, and daily life remain closely intertwined. Cappadocia, Turkey. Cappadocia lies in central Anatolia, shaped by volcanic rock and long-term erosion. The region's terrain features soft stone formations carved by wind, rain, and time. Wide valleys are filled with cone-shaped pillars and layered ridges. These natural forms create a landscape unlike anywhere else in Europe or nearby regions. Human settlement here dates back thousands of years. Communities adapted by carving homes, storage spaces, and shelters directly into the rock. Villages developed around valleys where water and fertile soil were available. This allowed agriculture to support long-term settlement despite a harsh environment. Local culture reflects resilience and close ties to land. Daily life historically followed seasons, harvest cycles, and limited natural resources. Food traditions are rooted in regional Anatolian cooking. Meals often feature grains, vegetables, legumes, and slow-cooked local dishes. The modern economy combines agriculture with tourism. Small towns balance visitor activity with traditional rural routines. Cappadocia is known for its wide, open views and soft color tones. Early morning light reveals layers of rock shaped by centuries of erosion. Valleys are connected by walking paths and open plateaus. Routes pass through orchards, vineyards, and quiet rural areas. The region sits at an average elevation of about 1,000 meters or 3,281 feet. This creates warm summers and cold winters with clear seasonal contrast. Population density remains low across much of the area. Settlements are small, preserving a calm and spacious atmosphere. Cappadocia presents a landscape shaped equally by nature and human adaptation. Here, survival, creativity, and geography combine to define a truly distinctive place. Sintra, Portugal. Sintra is a historic town set within forested hills west of Lisbon. Its location rises above the coastal plain, creating cooler air and frequent mist. The landscape is defined by granite hills, dense woodland, and winding mountain roads. This natural setting shaped settlement patterns and daily life over centuries. Sintra developed as a seasonal retreat due to its climate and isolation. Small estates and town structures adapted to steep slopes and limited flat land. The town's layout feels layered rather than linear. Paths curve through hills, connecting neighborhoods hidden among trees. Local culture reflects a strong relationship with landscape and heritage. Life here moves at a slower pace compared to nearby urban centers. Food traditions reflect central Portuguese cooking. Meals focus on bread, vegetables, grains, olive oil, and regional ingredients. Sintra's economy relies heavily on tourism and local services. Small cafes, shops, and guest houses support daily activity within the historic core. The surrounding hills offer extensive walking routes and viewpoints. Trails pass through forests, ridges, and quiet residential areas. Sintra's natural environment creates shifting light and atmosphere. Clouds often move quickly, changing visibility and color throughout the day. The town sits at approximately 412 meters or 1,352 feet above sea level. This elevation contributes to cooler temperatures year-round. The population is around 33,000 residents. Despite visitors, many neighborhoods remain calm and residential. Sintra blends nature and settlement in close balance. Here, geography shapes lifestyle as much as history does. Hallstatt, Austria. Hallstatt is a small lakeside village set between steep alpine slopes and a narrow shoreline. It lies in the Salzkammergut region, where mountains rise sharply from calm water. The village developed in a limited physical space. Homes and pathways were built vertically, adapting to cliffs and restricted land. Hallstatt's history is closely linked to salt mining. For thousands of years, salt extraction supported settlement, trade, and regional importance. This long economic role shaped daily routines and social organization. The village grew slowly, guided by geography rather than expansion plans. Local culture reflects Alpine traditions and close community ties. Life here values continuity, shared responsibility, and respect for natural limits. Food traditions are shaped by mountain conditions and local resources. Meals often include freshwater fish, grains, dairy products, and preserved ingredients. Tourism now plays a major role in the local economy. Despite visitors, residential areas maintain a quiet and orderly rhythm. Hallstatt Lake defines much of the village's character. Its reflective surface mirrors changing light, weather, and seasonal colors. Walking paths follow the shoreline, and climb gently into surrounding hills. Movement through the village is slow, guided by narrow passages and steps. The surrounding mountains reach elevations well above 2,000 meters, 6,562 feet. These slopes influence climate, snowfall, and long winter shadows. Hallstatt itself sits at about 511 meters or 1,677 feet above sea level. This elevation brings cool summers and cold, snowy winters. The permanent population is under 800 residents. This small scale reinforces a strong sense of place and continuity. Hallstatt shows how human settlement can endure within extreme natural constraints. Here, landscape determines form, pace, and long-term survival. Swiss Alps, Switzerland. The Swiss Alps form one of Europe's most iconic mountain landscapes. They stretch across southern Switzerland, shaping borders, climate, and daily life. Sharp peaks, deep valleys, and wide alpine meadows define the terrain. Some summits rise above 4,000 meters, 13,123 feet, dominating the surrounding regions. Human settlement here adapted to altitude and isolation over centuries. Villages developed in valleys where land allowed farming and seasonal movement. Traditional architecture reflects mountain conditions and available materials. Wooden chalets and stone buildings were designed to withstand snow and cold. Local culture values precision, resilience, and cooperation. Communities historically relied on shared labor and careful use of resources. Food traditions are shaped by alpine geography. Meals often include dairy products, grains, potatoes, and preserved local foods. The Swiss Alps support a mixed economy. Agriculture, tourism, and transport routes all depend on mountain access. Modern infrastructure connects remote areas without overwhelming the landscape. Railways, tunnels, and mountain roads follow natural contours where possible. Outdoor activity defines much of life in the Alps. Hiking trails cross ridges, valleys, and high pastures during warmer months. Winter transforms the region into a snow-covered environment. Seasonal conditions strongly influence work patterns and daily routines. Glaciers and alpine lakes shape water systems across Europe. Major rivers originate here, flowing toward different seas. Population density remains low in higher elevations. This preserves open space and a strong sense of scale. The Swiss Alps represent balance between human presence and natural limits. Here, survival, movement, and culture are guided by the mountains themselves. Stockholm, Sweden. Stockholm is built across an archipelago where fresh water meets the Baltic Sea. The city spreads over islands connected by bridges, ferries, and waterfront paths. Its location shaped Stockholm as a trading and maritime centre from early history. Access to waterways supported movement, commerce, and regional influence. Urban design follows the natural contours of land and water. Streets open toward harbours, canals, and long shoreline views. Local culture values balance, efficiency, and closeness to nature. Daily life moves calmly, even in central districts and transport hubs. Food traditions reflect seasonal availability and regional produce. Fish, grains, root vegetables, and berries are common elements of everyday meals. Stockholm is Sweden's economic and administrative heart. Technology, finance, design, and public services drive the modern workforce. The city promotes an active outdoor lifestyle. Residents regularly use waterfront walks, parks, and nearby forests year-round. Green spaces are integrated into urban planning. Large parks sit alongside dense neighborhoods without sharp separation. Stockholm experiences clear seasonal contrast. Summers bring long daylight hours, while winters are cold and bright. The city lies close to sea level, around 28 meters or 92 feet. Its flat areas are balanced by gentle rises across different islands. Greater Stockholm has a population of over 2 million people. Despite this size, districts feel organized and human-scaled. Stockholm combines water, design, and daily life with quiet confidence. Here, the city grows from nature rather than pushing against it. Innsbruck, Austria. Innsbruck lies in a narrow Alpine valley where mountain peaks rise immediately from the city edge. It sits along the Inn River, surrounded by high ranges that define its scale and movement. The city developed as a strategic crossing point through the Alps. Trade routes linking northern and southern Europe shaped its early growth. Historic buildings line compact streets within the old town. Urban form reflects adaptation to limited space between river and mountains. Local culture balances tradition with active outdoor life. Daily routines often combine urban work with mountain access nearby. Food traditions reflect Tyrolean regional cooking. Meals focus on grains, dairy products, potatoes, and locally sourced ingredients. Innsbruck serves as a regional economic and educational center. Universities, tourism, and services support much of the workforce. The city's lifestyle is closely tied to its geography. Residents regularly move between urban areas and surrounding alpine terrain. Cable cars connect the city directly to mountain slopes. This creates rare access from street level to high-altitude viewpoints. The surrounding peaks rise above 2,000 meters, 6,562 feet. These elevations influence weather, light, and seasonal rhythms. Innsbruck itself sits at about 574 meters, 1,883 feet above sea level. Cold winters and mild summers shape everyday activity. The population is around 130,000, keeping the city compact and walkable. Neighborhoods retain a strong sense of local identity. Innsbruck shows how a city can exist in direct dialogue with mountains. Here, urban life and alpine environment remain tightly connected. Kraków, Poland. Kraków is a historic city set along the Vistula River in southern Poland. Its location connects Central Europe through valleys, trade routes, and fertile plains. The city developed as a political and commercial center during the medieval period. Compact streets and market spaces shaped daily life around walking and local exchange. Urban form reflects continuity rather than expansion. Neighborhoods grew inward, preserving scale and human movement. Local culture values learning, craftsmanship, and public gathering. Squares and promenades remain central to social routines. Food traditions reflect regional Polish cooking. Meals often include grains, vegetables, dairy products, and seasonal ingredients. Krakow's economy combines education, tourism, technology, and creative industries. Universities and cultural institutions support steady employment and innovation. The city maintains a strong pedestrian character. Short distances encourage walking between residential areas and public spaces. Green areas line the riverbanks and outer districts. These spaces provide balance between dense streets and open views. Kraków sits at approximately 219 meters or 719 feet above sea level. Its inland position brings cold winters and warm summers. The population is around 780,000, keeping the city active yet manageable. Districts retain distinct identities shaped by history and layout. Daily life follows a measured pace. Markets open early, while evenings remain calm and social. Kraków presents a city shaped by memory and use. Here, history supports modern life without overwhelming it. Liverpool, England. Liverpool is a port city set along the eastern bank of the River Mersey in northwest England. Its position facing the Irish Sea shaped its growth as a major maritime gateway. The city expanded rapidly during the industrial era. Docks, warehouses, and shipbuilding defined its early urban character. Liverpool's layout reflects this working heritage. Wide waterfront areas contrast with dense inner districts and historic streets. Local culture is strongly community-oriented and expressive. Public life centers on shared spaces, local identity, and creative output. The city has a long tradition of music, storytelling, and performance. These influences remain visible in daily life and public events. Food culture reflects regional British cooking with modern variety. Local ingredients and international influences coexist across neighborhoods. Liverpool's economy has shifted from heavy industry to services and culture. Education, tourism, media, and creative industries now support employment. The waterfront remains a defining feature of the city. Regenerated docklands connect historic structures with modern public spaces. Walking routes follow the river, offering open views and changing light. Water and sky play a strong visual role throughout the day. Liverpool lies close to sea level at about 20 meters or 66 feet. Its coastal climate brings mild winters and cool summers. The city's population is around 500,000 people. This scale keeps neighborhoods active while maintaining strong local character. Liverpool represents a European city shaped by movement and exchange. Here, water, industry and culture combine to define a resilient urban identity. Geneva, Switzerland. Geneva sits at the western edge of Switzerland, where Lake Geneva meets the Rhone River. The city lies between the Alps and the Jura Mountains, creating a natural crossroads. This location shaped Geneva as a place of movement, exchange, and diplomacy. Waterways and mountain passes connected it to wider European routes for centuries. The city developed along the lakefront and riverbanks. Urban districts grew outward while preserving access to water and open views. Local culture values precision, dialogue, and international cooperation. Daily life reflects calm routines shaped by order and shared public space. Food traditions combine Swiss regional cooking with international influence. Meals often feature seasonal produce, grains, dairy products, and fresh ingredients. Geneva is one of Europe's major centers for global organizations and finance. International institutions, banking and services support much of the workforce. The lifestyle emphasizes balance between work and personal time. Residents frequently use parks, promenades, and lakeside paths throughout the year. Lake Geneva defines the city's visual identity. Its broad surface reflects light, mountains, and changing weather conditions. Public transport and walking routes connect neighborhoods efficiently. Distances remain short, keeping movement smooth and predictable. Geneva lies at about 375 meters or 1,230 feet above sea level. This elevation brings cool winters and mild, comfortable summers. population is around 200,000 within the city. Despite its global role, Geneva maintains a quiet and orderly atmosphere. Geneva presents a refined European city shaped by water, dialogue, and geography. Here, landscape and international life exist in steady balance. Provence, France. Provence is a broad region in southeastern France, shaped by hills, plains, and Mediterranean coastline. Its landscape ranges from lavender fields and vineyards to rocky uplands and river valleys. The region developed through centuries of agricultural and trade activity. Small towns and villages grew around fertile land, water access, and seasonal movement. Provence has long been influenced by Mediterranean climate and light. Dry summers and mild winters shaped building styles and daily routines. Local culture emphasizes connection to land, markets, and community life. Outdoor social spaces remain central to everyday interaction. Architecture reflects practical design and local materials. Stone houses, tiled roofs, and shaded streets respond to heat and terrain. Food traditions are closely tied to regional produce. Meals often include vegetables, grains, olive oil, herbs, and locally grown ingredients. Agriculture remains important to the regional economy. Farming, food production, and local crafts support rural livelihoods. Tourism plays a major role alongside traditional industries. Visitors are drawn by scenery, towns, and slower-paced rural environments. Movement through Provence often follows narrow roads and old pathways. Routes connect villages, fields, and hilltop settlements. The region's elevation varies widely. Lowlands sit near sea level, while inland areas rise above 1,000 meters or 3,281 feet. Population density is higher in towns and lower across countryside areas. This contrast preserves open landscapes and quiet rural zones. Provence offers a balanced view of European regional life. Here, land, climate, and tradition continue to shape daily experience. Island Croatia. Mljet Island lies in the southern Adriatic Sea, off the Dalmatian coast of Croatia. It is one of the region's greenest islands, covered largely by dense forest and quiet bays. The island's interior is defined by rolling hills and protected woodland. Coastal areas feature calm coves, clear water, and gently sloping shorelines. Human settlement on Mljet dates back to ancient times. Small communities developed around fishing, farming, and safe natural harbors. Life on the island remained largely rural for centuries. Limited access and fertile land encouraged self-sufficient village living. Local culture reflects a strong connection to nature and slow daily rhythms. Island routines follow daylight, seasons, and maritime conditions. Food traditions are simple and closely tied to local resources. Meals often include fresh fish, vegetables, olive oil, and regional produce. Much of the island is protected as a national park. Forests, lakes, and coastline are carefully managed to preserve natural balance. Two saltwater lakes sit within the island's western area. They connect to the sea through narrow channels, creating gentle tidal movement. Tourism remains low impact compared to larger destinations. Visitors explore mainly by walking, cycling, or small boats. The island's terrain is mostly low to moderate in elevation. Highest points reach about 514 meters or 1,686 feet above sea level. Mljet has a small permanent population, under 1,000 residents. This keeps settlements quiet and closely knit. Mljet Island offers a calm Mediterranean environment shaped by restraint. Here, forest, sea, and silence define the experience more than development. Dürnstein, Austria. Dürnstein is a small riverside town set along a narrow bend of the Danube Valley. It lies in Lower Austria's Wachau region, surrounded by terraced vineyards and rocky hillsides. The town developed in a confined strip between river and slope. This geography shaped compact streets and tightly arranged historic buildings. Dürnstein's origins reach back to the medieval period. Its strategic river position once controlled trade and movement along the Danube. Stone houses line the waterfront and climb gently toward the hills. Warm-colored facades reflect light from the river throughout the day. Local culture remains closely tied to viticulture and seasonal cycles. Vineyard work continues to shape daily routines and community life. Food traditions reflect regional Austrian simplicity. Meals often feature grains, vegetables, local produce, and dishes suited to rural settings. The town's economy depends largely on wine production and tourism. Small family-run businesses operate within preserved historic structures. The Danube defines both movement and scenery. River paths connect Dürnstein with neighboring towns and vineyard routes. Walking trails climb above the town into surrounding hills. These paths reveal wide views across the river valley and terraced slopes. Dürnstein sits at approximately 209 meters or 686 feet above sea level. Its sheltered valley position creates mild conditions through much of the year. The permanent population is under 1,000 residents. This keeps the town quiet outside seasonal visitor periods. Dürnstein presents a clear example of life shaped by river and land. Here, landscape, work, and settlement remain closely balanced over time. Pompeii, Italy. Pompeii is an ancient city set on a broad plain near the Bay of Naples. Its location placed it close to trade routes, fertile land, and coastal access. The city developed as a busy Roman urban center. Streets, homes, workshops, and public spaces reflected structured daily life. In 79 AD, a volcanic eruption suddenly covered Pompeii in ash and debris. This event preserved buildings, streets, and objects in remarkable detail. Today, the layout remains clearly visible. Stone roads, courtyards, and residential blocks reveal how the city once functioned. Pompeii's urban design followed a planned grid. This allowed efficient movement and organization across neighborhoods. Local culture in ancient Pompeii centered on family, work, and social gathering. Homes were designed around inner courtyards that provided light and ventilation. Food practices reflected Roman-era habits and local agriculture. Grains, vegetables, olive oil, and preserved foods formed the basis of meals. The surrounding land was highly productive. Farming and trade supported the city's economy and population growth. Walking through Pompeii today feels like moving through frozen time. Details such as wall markings and streetwear show everyday routines. The city sits at about 14 meters or 46 feet above sea level. Its flat terrain contrasts with nearby volcanic slopes. Pompeii once held a population of around 11,000 people. This made it a medium-sized but active Roman city. Pompeii offers a rare, direct view into ancient urban life. Here, daily routines were preserved by sudden natural force rather than design. Strasbourg, France. Strasbourg is a historic city set along the Rhine River in eastern France. Its location places it at a natural crossroads between Central and Western Europe. The city developed over centuries as a center of trade and regional governance. River access supported movement of goods, people, and ideas across borders. Strasbourg's urban form reflects this layered history. Canals, narrow streets, and open squares shape daily movement through the city. Architecture blends influences from different European traditions. Timber-framed houses and stone buildings stand side by side within the historic core. Local culture emphasizes dialogue, cooperation, and shared public life. Community spaces remain active and closely connected to everyday routines. Food traditions reflect the region's mixed heritage. Meals often combine grains, vegetables, dairy products, and locally sourced ingredients. Strasbourg plays an important role in administration and international cooperation. public institutions and services support a stable local economy. The city encourages walking and cycling through compact neighborhoods. Waterways and green corridors guide movement and provide open space. Strasbourg lies at about 132 meters or 433 feet above sea level. Its low elevation contributes to mild seasonal variation. The population is around 290,000 people. Despite its size, many districts maintain a calm residential atmosphere. Life along the river defines much of the city's rhythm. Bridges and embankments connect neighborhoods across flowing water. City shaped by connection rather than division. Here, geography supports exchange, balance, and continuity. Ohrid, North Macedonia. Ohrid is a historic lakeside town set along the eastern shore of Lake Ohrid. It sits between gentle hills and clear freshwater, creating a calm and balanced setting. The town developed as an important cultural center in the Balkans. For centuries, learning, craftsmanship, and local governance shaped daily life here. Ohrid streets follow natural slopes toward the water. Stone houses, narrow lanes, and small squares define the compact urban form. Lake Ohrid itself is one of Europe's oldest and deepest lakes. Its clear waters support unique ecosystems and shape the town's rhythm. Local culture values continuity and close community ties. Daily routines remain connected to the lake, seasons, and neighborhood life. Food traditions reflect regional Balkan cooking. Meals often include freshwater fish, vegetables, grains, and locally sourced ingredients. The local economy blends tourism with traditional activities. Fishing, small trade, and services continue alongside visitor-related work. Walking is the main way to experience the town. Paths follow the shoreline, climb gentle hills, and connect historic districts. The surrounding landscape offers quiet viewpoints above the lake. These elevated areas provide wide perspectives across water and distant hills. Ohrid lies at about 695 meters, 2,280 feet above sea level. This elevation brings warm summers and cool, clear evenings. The town has a population of roughly 42,000 people. Its scale preserves a relaxed pace and strong local identity. Ohrid presents a rare harmony between water, settlement, and time. Here, history and daily life continue to unfold beside an ancient lake. Barcelona, Spain. Barcelona stretches along the Mediterranean coast, backed by low hills and open urban plains. Its setting combines sea access, gentle elevation, and dense city form. The city developed as a maritime and commercial center over many centuries. Trade routes and coastal position shaped early growth and regional influence. Urban layout blends structured planning with older neighborhood patterns. Wide avenues contrast with compact districts built for walking and local exchange. Local culture values creativity, public life, and outdoor movement. Streets, plazas, and waterfronts remain active throughout the day. Architecture plays a strong role in daily experience. Buildings often emphasize light, geometry, and integration with surrounding space. Food traditions reflect Mediterranean regional cooking. Meals commonly include grains, vegetables, olive oil, seafood, and seasonal produce. Barcelona is one of Spain's main economic and cultural hubs. Tourism, design, technology, and services support a diverse workforce. The city encourages an active lifestyle. Walking, cycling, and public transport connect neighborhoods efficiently. Green spaces are integrated across urban areas. Parks and tree-lined streets provide relief within dense districts. Barcelona sits close to sea level, around 12 meters or 39 feet. Its coastal climate brings mild winters and warm summers. The metropolitan population exceeds 5 million people. Despite this scale, many areas retain strong neighborhood identity. The nearby hills offer elevated viewpoints over the city and coastline. These natural edges help define the city's limits and orientation. Barcelona represents a European city shaped by openness and movement. Here, urban life flows between sea, street, and shared public space. Andalusia, Spain. Andalusia is a large region in southern Spain, shaped by plains, mountains, and Mediterranean coastline. It stretches from the Atlantic shores to inland valleys and rugged hill ranges. The region developed through centuries of agriculture, trade, and cultural exchange. Its position connected southern Europe with wider Mediterranean routes. Settlements grew around rivers, fertile land, and natural corridors. Small towns and cities adapted closely to climate and terrain. Local culture emphasizes openness, shared public life, and strong regional identity. Daily routines often center on outdoor spaces and community interaction. Architecture reflects adaptation to heat and light. Whitewashed buildings, narrow streets, and shaded courtyards help manage warm conditions. Food traditions are deeply rooted in local produce. Meals commonly include grains, vegetables, olive oil, legumes, and seasonal ingredients. Agriculture remains a key part of the regional economy. Olive cultivation, farming, and food production support rural livelihoods. Tourism plays an important modern role. Historic towns, rural landscapes, and coastal areas attract year-round visitors. Movement through Andalusia often follows ancient routes. Roads and pathways connect plains with uplands and coastal zones. The region's elevation varies widely. Lowlands sit near sea level, while mountain areas rise above 3,000 meters or 9,843 feet. Population density differs sharply between cities and countryside. This contrast preserves wide open spaces alongside active urban centers. Andalusia offers a layered view of European regional life. Here, land, climate, and tradition continue to shape everyday experience. Paris, France. Paris is set along the River Seine in northern France, shaped by gentle terrain and wide urban plains. The river curves through the city, guiding movement, trade, and settlement for centuries. Paris developed as a political, cultural, and economic center early in European history. Its growth followed planned expansions layered over older districts and streets. The city's layout balances grand avenues with compact neighborhoods. Walking remains central, supported by bridges, quays, and interconnected streets. Local culture values public life, conversation, and shared spaces. Parks, sidewalks, and open squares shape daily routines and social interaction. Architecture defines much of the city's identity. Stone buildings, uniform heights, and ordered facades create visual continuity. Food traditions reflect regional French cooking with global influence. Meals often focus on fresh ingredients, simple preparation, and seasonal variety. Paris is one of Europe's strongest economic and creative hubs. Finance, fashion, education, tourism, and media support a diverse workforce. The city encourages an active urban lifestyle. Residents rely on walking, cycling, and public transport for daily movement. The Seine plays a key role in city life. Its banks serve as gathering places and visual anchors. Paris lies at about 35 meters or 115 feet above sea level. Its inland position brings mild winters and warm summers. The city proper has a population of around 2 million. Greater Paris extends far beyond, forming a dense metropolitan region. Paris represents an urban landscape shaped by planning, culture, and continuity. Here, history and modern life move together along the river's flow. Venice, Italy. Venice is a historic city built entirely on a lagoon in northeastern Italy. It spreads across more than 100 small islands separated by canals and shallow water. The city developed as a maritime power due to its strategic lagoon location. Water provided protection, trade access, and control over sea routes. Venice has no traditional roads within its historic center. Movement happens by footpaths, bridges, and waterways instead of streets. Buildings rise directly from wooden foundations driven into lagoon sediment. This engineering solution allowed long-term settlement in unstable ground. Local culture is closely tied to water-based living. Daily routines adapt to tides, boat schedules, and pedestrian movement. The urban layout is dense, yet human-scaled. Narrow lanes open suddenly into small squares and waterfront edges. Food traditions reflect lagoon and coastal geography. Meals often include seafood, grains, vegetables, and simple regional ingredients. Venice's economy historically depended on trade, shipbuilding, and craftsmanship. Today, tourism and cultural services support much of city life. The canals remain central to transport and logistics. Small boats handle deliveries, waste collection, and daily commuting. Venice sits just above sea level at around 1 meter or 3 feet. This low elevation makes water management a constant priority. The historic centre has a population of about 50,000 residents. Despite visitors, local neighbourhoods maintain distinct daily rhythms. Light reflects off water throughout the city. This creates constantly changing colour and atmosphere across buildings and canals. Venice shows how urban life can exist without vehicles or streets. Here, water shapes movement, structure, and the pace of everyday life. Istanbul, Turkey. Istanbul stands at the meeting point of Europe and Asia, divided by the Bosphorus Strait. This unique position shaped the city as a bridge between continents, cultures, and trade routes. The city spreads across hills on both sides of the water. Straits, bays, and natural harbours define its movement and long urban form. Istanbul's history spans thousands of years as an imperial capital. Different eras layered their influence on streets, neighborhoods, and daily life. Urban layout reflects this continuity rather than uniform planning. Dense districts, waterfront zones, and elevated areas coexist within short distances. Local culture values social interaction, routine, and shared public spaces. Markets, streets, and ferry crossings remain part of everyday rhythm. Food traditions reflect a wide regional range. Meals often include grains, vegetables, seafood, and carefully prepared local dishes. Istanbul is Turkey's largest economic and cultural center. Trade, tourism, manufacturing, and services support a diverse population. The city's lifestyle is energetic and adaptive. Residents move constantly between neighborhoods, often by foot, boat, or rail. The Bosphorus defines the city's visual identity. Its currents shape transport, views, and daily schedules. Istanbul lies close to sea level, averaging around 40 meters or 131 feet. hills rise sharply, creating layered city views. The metropolitan population exceeds 15 million people. Despite this scale, local districts maintain strong individual character. Istanbul presents a city shaped by movement and exchange. Here, geography connects continents while daily life continues at human scale. Santorini, Greece. Santorini is a volcanic island set in the southern Aegean Sea. It forms part of a circular archipelago shaped by a massive, ancient eruption. The island rises sharply from the sea, creating high cliffs around a central caldera. Settlements sit along the rim, facing open water and steep drops below. Santorini's landscape is defined by layered volcanic rock. Whitewashed buildings contrast strongly with dark stone and deep blue sea. Human settlement here adapted to limited land and scarce fresh water. Villages developed compact layouts to protect from wind and heat. Local culture reflects island resilience and strong community ties. Daily life follows seasonal cycles shaped by climate and tourism. Food traditions are closely linked to volcanic soil. Meals often include locally grown vegetables, grains, olive oil, and seafood. The island's economy relies heavily on tourism and agriculture. Small towns balance visitor activity with long-established local routines. Terraced fields cover parts of the landscape. These stone-built levels help retain soil and moisture on steep terrain. Walking paths connect cliffside villages and inland settlements. Routes offer constant changes in elevation and perspective. Santorini's highest point reaches about 567 meters or 1,860 feet above sea level. This elevation provides wide views across the caldera and surrounding islands. The permanent population is around 15,000 residents. Numbers rise sharply during peak travel seasons. Santorini presents a rare union of geology and human design. Here, settlement follows the shape of the land rather than altering it. Dolomites, Italy. The Dolomites rise sharply in northeastern Italy, forming a dramatic Alpine mountain range. Their pale limestone peaks stand apart from surrounding ranges, creating a distinct visual identity. These mountains were shaped by ancient seas and long geological uplift. Erosion carved steep towers, wide plateaus, and deep valleys over millions of years. Human settlement here adapted to altitude and seasonal change. Small villages developed in sheltered valleys where farming and movement were possible. Traditional architecture reflects mountain conditions and local materials. Stone and wood buildings were designed to manage snow, cold, and steep terrain. Local culture values cooperation and close community ties. Daily routines historically followed weather patterns and agricultural cycles. Food traditions are shaped by Alpine geography. Meals often include dairy products, grains, potatoes, and preserved local ingredients. The regional economy combines agriculture, tourism, and craft traditions. Mountain pastures support grazing, while seasonal visitors support local services. The Dolomites are known for vertical landscapes and open highlands. Rock faces rise abruptly, while meadows spread across elevated plateaus. Walking routes cross valleys, ridges, and natural passes. Trails connect villages, viewpoints, and alpine environments at different elevations. Some peaks exceed 3,300 meters or 10,827 feet above sea level. These heights influence climate, snowfall, and water systems. Light changes rapidly across the rock faces. Color shifts from pale gray to warm tones during sunrise and sunset. Population density remains low across higher elevations. This preserves a sense of space and quiet throughout the region. The Dolomites represent a balance between natural force and human adaptation. Here, geology defines lifestyle, movement, and long-term settlement. Eiffel Tower, France. The Eiffel Tower rises from the heart of Paris, defining the city's skyline with iron precision. It stands on the left bank of the River Seine, anchoring wide open spaces and river views. Built in the late 19th century, the structure was created for a world exposition. Its lattice design demonstrated engineering innovation and new construction methods. The tower's form is both functional and symbolic. curved iron beams distribute weight efficiently while creating a light visual profile. Urban life flows around its base. Parks, walkways, and riverbanks frame daily movement and gathering. Local culture embraces the tower as a shared reference point. It guides orientation, meeting places, and citywide perspective. Food traditions nearby reflect Parisian everyday dining. Simple meals, fresh ingredients, and seasonal choices define the area's routines. The tower plays a central role in tourism and city identity. Observation levels offer broad views across Paris's rooftops and avenues. Elevators and stairs connect multiple platforms. Movement upward reveals changing scale and geometry at each level. At full height, the tower reaches about 330 meters or 1,083 feet, including antennas. This elevation shapes wind patterns and long-distance visibility. The structure's iron surface changes with light and weather. Color tones shift throughout the day, especially near sunset. Despite its size, the tower feels integrated rather than isolated. Streets, bridges, and river traffic align naturally around it. The Eiffel Tower represents a moment when engineering became urban art. Here, structure and city remain permanently linked through design and use. Colosseum, Italy. The Colosseum stands at the center of Rome, shaped by stone, arches, and open urban space. Its position connects ancient roads, forums, and surrounding hills. Construction began in the 1st century AD under the Roman Empire. The structure was designed to host large public events within a controlled environment. Its oval form allowed clear sightlines and organized crowd movement. Tiered seating reflected social structure and capacity planning. The building used concrete, stone, and brick in advanced combinations. These materials supported massive weight while allowing open interior space. Urban life grew closely around the structure. Markets, streets, and public areas developed in its immediate surroundings. Local culture today views the Colosseum as a symbol of continuity. It remains part of everyday movement rather than an isolated monument. Food traditions nearby reflect Roman regional cooking. Simple meals based on grains, vegetables, olive oil, and local produce are common. The Colosseum supports a tourism-based economy. Guides, services, and conservation work sustain activity around the site. Its scale remains striking even by modern standards. The structure measures about 189 meters by 156 meters, 620 feet by 512 feet. The outer walls rise to approximately 48 meters or 157 feet. This height once dominated Rome's ancient skyline. Despite damage over time, the core structure remains intact. Natural aging and historical reuse shaped its present appearance. The Colosseum demonstrates Roman mastery of urban engineering. Here, architecture served both civic function and lasting presence. Val d'Orcia, Italy. Val d'Orcia is a wide rural valley located in southern Tuscany, shaped by gentle hills and open farmland. Its rolling terrain creates long sightlines across fields, ridges, and distant hilltop towns. The landscape developed through centuries of agricultural planning. Land was shaped carefully to balance farming needs with natural contours. Small settlements grew on elevated ground to oversee fields and trade routes. This positioning created clear separation between cultivated land and living spaces. Local culture is deeply connected to land stewardship. Daily life historically followed planting cycles, harvest seasons, and weather patterns. Architecture across the valley reflects rural Tuscan design. Stone farmhouses, narrow roads, and compact villages blend into the landscape. Food traditions are rooted in simple, locally grown ingredients. Meals often include grains, vegetables, olive oil, and products from nearby fields. Agriculture remains central to the regional economy. Farming, food production, and rural tourism support long-term livelihoods. Movement through Val d'Osia feels slow and open. Roads curve gently, revealing new views with each rise and descent. The valley's visual harmony comes from repetition and balance. Fields, paths and settlements follow consistent spacing and proportion. Val d'Osia ranges from about 150 meters to 500 meters. (492 feet to 1,640 feet in elevation. This variation supports diverse crops and seasonal color changes. Population density is low, spread across villages and isolated farmhouses. This preserves silence and uninterrupted views across the valley. Val d'Osia represents a landscape shaped by patience rather than speed. Here, human activity enhances the land without overwhelming its natural form. Neuschwanstein Castle, Germany. Neuschwanstein Castle rises from forested hills in southern Bavaria, overlooking Alpine valleys and lakes. Its elevated position creates a dramatic contrast between stone walls and surrounding natural landscape. The castle was built in the 19th century as a private retreat. Its design reflects romantic ideals rather than military or administrative purpose. Construction used modern techniques alongside traditional stonework. This allowed large interior spaces within a medieval-inspired exterior form. The location was chosen for isolation and scenic views. Steep slopes and dense woodland separate the site from nearby settlements. Architecture emphasizes vertical lines, towers, and decorative facades. These elements were designed to blend visually with mountain ridges behind them. Local culture around the region reflects strong ties to Alpine geography. Villages nearby developed around farming, forestry, and seasonal movement. Food traditions reflect Bavarian regional cooking. Meals often include grains, dairy products, vegetables, and locally sourced ingredients. The castle never served as a royal residence for long-term living. It became significant mainly through its symbolic and aesthetic value. Today, tourism supports much of the local economy. Access routes, walking paths, and viewpoints guide visitor movement carefully. Forested trails surround the site on all sides. These paths offer changing perspectives across valleys and nearby lakes. Neuschwanstein sits at about 965 meters or 3,166 feet above sea level. This elevation brings cool air and frequent weather changes. The surrounding mountains rise well above the castle. Their scale reinforces the site's dramatic setting. Neuschwanstein Castle represents architecture shaped by imagination rather than necessity. Here, landscape and vision combine to create a lasting visual landmark. Bavarian Alps, Germany. The Bavarian Alps rise along Germany's southern border, forming a natural boundary with Austria. This mountain region is defined by sharp peaks, wide valleys, and clear alpine lakes. The landscape was shaped by glaciers and long-term erosion. Steep rock faces and grassy slopes exist side by side across short distances. Human settlement here adapted carefully to altitude and terrain. Villages developed in valleys where land allowed farming and seasonal movement. Traditional buildings reflect alpine conditions. Wood and stone structures were designed to manage snow, cold, and steep ground. Local culture values discipline, cooperation, and connection to land. Daily life historically followed weather patterns and agricultural cycles. Food traditions are rooted in mountain geography. Meals often include dairy products, grains, potatoes, and locally sourced ingredients. The Bavarian Alps support a mixed regional economy. Agriculture, tourism, and small-scale craftsmanship all play important roles. Pastures and meadows are used during warmer months. Livestock grazing remains part of seasonal land use. Walking routes cross valleys, forests, and high ridges. Trails connect villages with viewpoints and natural passes. The region includes Germany's highest peak, Zugspitze. It reaches about 2,962 meters or 9,718 feet above sea level. Elevation changes strongly influence climate. Lower valleys experience mild summers, while higher areas remain cool and windy. Population density decreases with height. Upper areas remain quiet, preserving open space and wide horizons. The Bavarian Alps show how geography shapes lifestyle and settlement. Here, mountains guide movement, work, and long-term continuity. Palace of Versailles, France. The Palace of Versailles stands west of Paris, set within a vast planned landscape. Its location reflects deliberate separation from the dense urban core. The palace developed in the 17th century as a symbol of centralized power. Design choices emphasized scale, symmetry, and controlled perspective. Architecture follows strict geometric order. Long facades, repeated windows, and aligned corridors create visual rhythm. The surrounding gardens extend the palace's design into open space. Paths, water features, and planted areas follow precise alignment. This setting shaped daily routines around formality and ceremony. Movement through spaces was structured rather than spontaneous. Local culture around Versailles evolved alongside the palace's presence. The town grew to support administration, services, and skilled labor. Food traditions in the region reflect northern French cooking. Meals often focus on grains, vegetables, dairy products, and seasonal ingredients. The palace complex functioned as a center of governance and residence. Many decisions affecting the country were made within these walls. Today, the site supports a large tourism and conservation economy. Maintenance, research, and visitor services sustain ongoing activity. The gardens cover about 800 hectares, 1,977 acres. This scale reinforces the sense of control over land and space. The palace itself sits at roughly 130 meters or 426 feet above sea level. Its flat surroundings emphasize horizontal expansion rather than height. Versailles represents architecture used to shape behavior and perception. Here, space was designed to express order, authority, and permanence.
Is a continent shaped by contrast, detail, and deep connection to land. From remote cliffs to alpine peaks, each place reflects a unique way of living. These landscapes tell stories of adaptation, patience, and continuity. Every road, valley, and shoreline carries its own rhythm and memory. And wherever your next journey takes you, may it be full of wonder. If this journey inspired you, please like and subscribe. It's completely free, yet it helps creators more than you can imagine. And tell us in the comments, which country should we explore next?